What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Content Corner. This is your boy Herb. Your boy
So,
Lance is over there.
wow,
And
you're not even gonna
today,
let me introduce myself, my guy?
because today we got a special guest. All right? It's a
Fine.
special day.
It's fine. Okay. Jeez.
This is our good friend, our passionate creator, our lovable giant, strong man of the group. Introduce yourself, buddy.
But, buddy?
Also, I'm here today too. Hello.
Oh, it'd be like, "Psst, that's your cue."
Delayed reactions. I'm sorry. I just thought it was like, yeah, I am here. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Would you prefer? I don't know. Do you want to use your real name for, or do you want
I
to?
can
Do you want
just.
to have
I'm
a handle?
Asante. I exist. What's up? How are
All
y'all?
right. All right. Cool. And today we're discussing a very recent movie in media. What was it like? Immortal Feud. Uh,
My guy.
uh,
This is one of your most favorite, like, video game series. What are you talking about? How you
Living
gonna do this?
Battles. Living Battles.
Mortal
Uh,
Kombat.
yes, Mortal Kombat. Yes. And I guess my spoiler free thing is, if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, you gotta go watch it. But it's definitely not a movie I'd see twice. The whole thing through. I'd watch scenes over, not the whole movie over. That's my spoiler free angle.
I would say that it could have been way, way worse. It could have been way worse. But overall, like, I like Mortal Kombat, but I'm not
We've
an.
seen worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen much worse. I like Mortal Kombat, but I wouldn't say I'm like an avid fan. Like,
Same here. I'm just a fan of good content, and I do believe that movie was good content.
I enjoyed it.
Like, my rating basically kind of diverges in the sense, as a viewer, and then as a Mortal Kombat fan. It's the same with how I did with the Marvel movies. Like, I as a movie, I had a rating as a movie, just a movie goer, and I has a rating as a person who grew up with Marvel comics. I had
Mhm.
two different ratings. So, as a moviegoer, it's a solid movie. It's fun. It's action packed. I hope you like gore because there's plenty of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There is plenty of it. Some of these fatalities, I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah. They came for everybody's whole government. Like,
But as a fan of the series, as the game, it doesn't drop my rating by a lot, but it does drop. Not by a
mm,
lot, by like 1 or 2 points, but it drops.
There was a
that's fair.
couple of campy scenes in there, and I was like, really,
That's what we're here for.
really.
As a Mortal Kombat fan,
I,
that's what I'm here for.
I mean, I suppose, but I was just like, as a moviegoer, I was just like, come on,
And see,
really.
that's a fine line. That's why I think it excels. It really walked that fine line of trying to make a movie that appeases the longtime fans, but also tries to get in new fans. You know what I mean? I think it did a good job of that. Because you can't go too far one way or the other, because then you lose half your demographic.
Yeah.
True. And then you make no money, and then nobody's happy.
Exactly. So I do hope there's more, like that there's sequels. I know the actor for Sub Zero signed on for was so confident that he signed up for I signed on for 4 movies should this like movie succeed. So he's on he's in there
Yeah,
for
he's
four
in there.
movies.
He's fucking dedicated. Which, to be fair, like, I'd see more in this universe. Absolutely. Like, the fighting was like pretty. Some of the fights were like excellent, like absolutely excellent. Other fights were like, depending on the actor that was like, doing it, was like, oh, okay, just
I feel like
okay.
you could kind of tell which actors had more experience with like martial arts and stuff based on how many cuts were in their fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like
what?
the
Mm,
Joe Tassim his scenes were pretty good, and they had a lot less cutaways. They had more cutaways when he used more abilities, I noticed.
which
Makes
it kind of makes sense. Like, I could see why.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was pretty hard.
I think that's enough of the spoiler free aspect. Like that's pretty much all of us telling you go watch it. There's your spoiler
Yes, go
free.
definitely go watch it. Like there's no reason to not watch it, to be entirely honest.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get into spoiler territory here. I want to get into my nitpicking. I want to get into the
You
the.
wants to start complaining.
I want to start complaining. Yes, I do.
Okay, go for it.
All right, all right, all right. So number one, this is not a complaint. Something I love about the movie. Kano carried this fucking movie for a while.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Kano was
he
the heart and soul of this movie.
because like he was like a beautiful version of like he is our view, like he is what we get to see in this world, and like our medium to experience it. Like because like there's so many moments where like if I were an onlooker, I'd be like, yeah, what the entire fuck.
Which is weird because like Cole's supposed to be that. He's supposed to be our surrogate in
Yeah,
this movie, and Kano just ends up doing that because, like you said, Kano asks questions that we would be asking. The fuck you mean Mortal Kombat? Why is it spelled wrong? What is up with these creatures? Why do they have
what?
powers? Like, there's just so many questions. Hell, my one of my favorite questions he asked is like, wait. You're saying that I could get superpowers? And I'm like,
Word.
yes, that's be a question I would ask.
Yeah, he was undoubtedly probably one of like the weakest like protagonist ever. It didn't feel like he was in the movie for any other reason than to be like the host for the Scorpion.
Yeah, I would say. All right, so there's a couple of things about that point, right? Yes, Cole is supposed to be our conduit into this universe. You know, we're supposed to be walking in his shoes and seeing the world through his eyes. And
Right.
so yeah, he should be the one asking the questions. Like he just dives in like, "Oh, we're fighting Mortal Kombat powers. Cool. Yep, I'm with it." Which kind of didn't make any sense. But I will say that if he didn't well, if he did that job, I don't think Kano would have been as funny, you know? Cuz Kano could have been funny in his own right, but like part of the humor was him reacting to things as we would have. Just what the fuck do you mean?
Absolutely.
You know, so if Cole took that role,
Right.
it would have taken away from Kano.
Fair.
Fair, fair. I mean, I feel like at that point you would write. Well, at that point, like you could write it so that Cole asks the questions, but then Kano reacts to said questions or adds onto it.
True.
You know what I mean?
They just
Because
could
it
have
still gives you
written Cole
perspective.
better or just had a better
Cole just needs better. His character just needs better. Like the actor, I think did a great job of what he had.
yeah.
I honestly do. Like I'm not hating on the actor. The actor did a great job. I think the writing for the character of Cole is what needs some work.
Yeah, writing for Cole, and some of like the plot points, uh, like with how they got powers. What did they say? What was it that they said? Fucking
The Arcana.
the
You were like
Arcanas.
you were like chosen, and then after you're chosen, you have to like I guess level up until you unlock your Kekkei Genkai.
Kekkei
But
Genkai. Oh
like,
my.
so a lot of the stuff that all right, so I know that Mortal Kombat fans are gonna be like upset by this part because like a lot of things in the Mortal Kombat universe, you know, aren't explained that way, you know.
Right.
Uh, so it's kind of like, all right, well, how the fuck does your Arcana magical powers buff up robotic arms? Like what?
That like I don't know.
Like
Like,
to be fair, magic, right? Like magic is supposed to like
Right.
not make sense sometimes. Like
there
Yeah,
how
are
does magic
I
do
would.
it? It's magic, stupid. But like
there are some like here's the thing. There are some like Arcanas that I was like, all right, whatever. So like Sonya getting her wrist laser thing, which originally was like a bracelet that she wore in the games, but making that her Arcana, I'm like, okay, I can kind of buy that. It's just a projectile anyway. Um, I don't know if it was his Arcana, but Kung Lao's hat teleportation shit. I'm like, you know what? Sure, he's linked to his hat, and he can do cool shit with his hat. Cool, I can believe that. Liu Kang shooting fireballs. Okay, there's a couple that I'm just like, like Kano has an single eye laser. Not even both eyes, a single eye laser.
Yep, one eye laser.
Like it made sense before when he had a cybernetic eye, and he only had one eye laser because there's only one eye that's cybernetic. But so why is he limited to one eye laser if it's his regular eyeball?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know why the need of Arcana was, why? Why do you need that?
You could have just said powers, fam. You could have just straight
Powers.
up said
But
powers.
but like the thing is like, all right, so in the Mortal Kombat universe, the development of like certain technologies, right, is in response to the threat, you know? So
Yeah.
so like, you got people that can shoot fireballs and create ice and teleport and shit. So, regular humans have to step up their game, develop technology like the robotic arms, cybernetic eyes, weaponized gauntlets. So it I think it speaks less to like the humans fighting back or Earthrealm like getting their shit together when you just say, "Oh, well, it's Arcana," and like this is just the force. You were just chosen by like the gods or whatever.
Also, I'm just like every time they said Arcana, I'm just over here like, okay, so like, is my Arcana the tower? Zawardo? Like, what is my Arcana? But I mean, I feel like that could have been done better. The powers just overall couldn't. Visually, like, I have no beef with the visuals really too much actually with this movie.
Nah, they're pretty
Oh,
dope.
everything looked great.
I
There were some larger scale things where I was kind of like, that could use a little bit of work, but like overall, um, like a lot of the smaller attacks and weapons were very well done.
um while I did love how like armored and stuff, the armored look they gave Sub Zero and Scorpion, I didn't like in terms of color scheme how similar they were. You know,
Wh- What do you mean? Like with who?
Sub Zero and Scorpion, they're both just very dark colors, like just grays and blacks. You know, it's
Right.
like
I mean, what would ninjas wear?
they're
Fair.
powered up ninjas. Who the fuck cares?
Fair.
But
Honestly, yeah.
no, but they're
You're still
ninjas, my guy. What do you think this is? Naruto? Everybody's walking around in
Are
orange jumpsuits, my guy.
are they ninjas? Because if they were really ninjas, you would never see them. Let's be real here.
I mean, true, but like they define themselves as ninjas.
Listen,
Yeah.
all I know. Yes.
I was gonna say I believe like my favorite ninja moment, my favorite moment of the entire movie was that it was 3 seconds where somebody saw Sub Zero. I think it was Jax. He saw Sub Zero. Sub Zero's just waiting outside, and then he just smokes himself inside the building. I was like, if they made like Joe is the actor Joe. He signed on for 4 more films. If they just do a horror movie around Sub Zero, oh my god, I'd see it at least 3 times.
Now my question is, do you think he signed on for 4 movies before he knew that they were gonna kill him at the end of the movie?
Oh yeah, I mean, like
But he doesn't
he's
have to
already
stay dead.
talked about. Yeah, he does not. It's movie magic, baby.
It's
Like
Mortal Kombat. Like people
it's Mortal
don't stay
Kombat.
dead.
Find me one game
actually,
without Sub Zero.
actually, so here's the thing: in Mortal Kombat, people do stay dead unless they rewind time. So Sub Zero, there is a Sub Zero in every game, true, but the original Sub Zero died, and now Kuai Liang, who is his younger brother, takes up the mantle Sub Zero. So it's not
Yes,
Bi-Han,
Ex-
which may be a different
true,
act.
fair, but explain Scorpion.
Scorpion,
Yeah.
he is a Spectre. He's actually not alive.
Oh, okay, but he's not dead.
He is dead. He's
But
not
he's
alive.
around. He's doing things, my guy. He's walking and
Word.
talking and fighting. All
He
right,
is
we don't need him to be alive to
He's
be in the movie, my guy.
he's undead.
Exactly.
He is
So,
actually
so
undead.
I don't
But
care.
when we were
I
talking about
don't
their
care.
status, we were talking about their status on the plane of the mortal. We were talking about whether or not they would be present in that movie.
Like, it doesn't
mean,
matter.
they-
He doesn't have to be alive. Is
I was
what
saying,
we're saying.
if they bring him back, it'll honestly I feel like just be as Noob Saibot. They're gonna bring him back as Noob Saibot, as
Which
they
is
always
fine.
do.
Which is
Which-
fine. Although
Right.
I'd be happy if they do so many Mortal Kombat movies that they're no longer serious and like we just get like the shark, the ghost shark appear, or like somebody's just drinking some ice cold drink and all of a sudden out their ice cube Sub Zero.
I mean, the way things are going. I feel like they're sticking to some of the story, while also adding their own spin to it. So
Mhm.
I feel like they'll probably still use the actor who's B Han, but like I said, he probably won't be back as Sub Zero. He'll probably be back as Noob Saibot or something, and we'll have a Sub
Right.
Zero. It'll just be some other dude.
Or a
You know,
prequel movie. We could do prequels.
we could do
Yeah,
a prequel movie
that's what
like
they're
the
saying. They wanted to do more prequels and everything.
the reason I was just like it was weird, and I don't know if it actually come back to Noob Saibot or something else is just the fact that like the one big thing from the very beginning that they changed was that Sub Zero actually killed Scorpion's clan and his family. That
Yeah,
never happened in any of the Mortal Kombat. It was never actually Sub Zero. It was Quan Chi masquerading as Sub Zero or using someone like some kind of spell to make it look at Sub Zero because he wanted Sub Zero's body to make Noob Saibot. That was his whole plan. So the fact that they actually made Sub Zero actually do it this time, it throws a wrinkle in a lot of things. And it's something that I like. I'm not upset about it. I'm more confused by it. you know?
Well, like you said, it's their own twist and their own spin on things. So at this point, don't expect anything to be the same in terms of
exactly.
storytelling.
I will say that there's probably a chance we will see Quan Chi eventually because
I mean, he's important to the
he's
universe.
important, but
Yeah,
also specifically because in this movie we have a link to him, and that is the amulet that Kano picks up in the temple. That Liu
Hmm.
Kang tells him to put the fucking amulet down. That's Shinnok's amulet, and Quan Chi serves Shinnok. That's his whole point is to bring Shinnok back. So if the amulet's there, there's a chance we'll see Quan Chi trying to bring back his Lord Shinnok and shit. So there's a chance. Goro was short lived. I'm upset by that.
Quite short
That
lived.
that I was actually upset about. Like we saw him for the fight. That's it. We didn't see him outside the fight. Nothing. We saw his shadow.
I mean, did you want Goro to have more speaking lines?
Kinda.
All right, that's fair. I don't know what
He's
he would say, but
royalty. He deserves it. He's royalty.
who cares about royalty, bro? Royalty is overrated.
was the king to a god.
Word, you're literally dealing with gods here.
hey, hey, hey!
Fuck
The
is
only
royalty?
god in that movie was Raiden. All right,
Exactly, you're
Yeah.
dealing with gods
he
here.
didn't do
And
shit.
he did word. He was like, I can zap. I can be a bug zapper. I can
True,
be a giant
but
fucking
like,
wall.
when does Raiden ever do anything?
Specific. Are you talking about games or movies?
Yes.
So in the movies, he does shit in the second one, but that's because sacrifices his immortality to fight alongside the mortals in Mortal Kombat. That's number one.
Yeah.
In the games, he actually does fight Shao Kahn and defend Earthrealm. He like fights. He has to end up fighting Liu Kang because Liu Kang kind of goes like zombie Liu Kang and evil. He does throw down. Raiden does throw down in the games. He's not a passive motherfucker. It starts out that way, but over time is like, well, see, like they're going against the rules. These bad guys are fucking the rules over. They're saying screw the rules. Well, I'm gonna say screw the rules now, so I'm gonna throw these hands.
So technically, considering this is the first movie in the series or this version, he's kind of following like his character arc. He doesn't do anything in the beginning, and as the
No,
situation rises.
in the beginning, he doesn't do anything because they're following the rules.
I mean, he is
Every time
following the rules. He literally said that.
no, Shang Tsung did not follow the rules.
No, I'm saying he did,
No, no, no.
not
But I'm
Shang
saying
Tsung.
when Outworld breaches the rules, that's when Raiden always steps up because if they're violating the rules, and he can act. He's the defender of Earthrealm as that in that sense. So the fact that they're breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat should give him leverage and leeway to actually defend and fight. But he's just like, nah, I ain't gonna do shit.
Was my thinking like, oh, like if they're gonna interfere, I can interfere. Like that should be the thing.
Not to mention, it's not even like he didn't know they were interfering. He caught them red-handed. They came
That's
into
very
his
true.
house.
They walked in,
Right.
busted through the front door.
Like, you coming to my house?
And he was just like, you guys are gonna cheat, and he was just like, I don't care. Like we're gonna cheat, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna sit here though.
And that's why I'm just like, Raiden, why?
What are you doing, my guy?
You should have blasted Shang Tsung back to Outworld, just like he did at the end of the movie. Just be like, nah, get the fuck out of here. Bye.
Peace.
Zap him out. Oh man, but that.
He felt like he very much felt like the Gandalf of the group.
Mhm.
The
the old man
flashlight and a
wizard,
jackhammer.
the old man wizard who gives you very, very obscure, very vague advice that you have to try to figure out on your own, and you won't figure out until literally the moment you need it.
Exactly.
Gandalf
Well, I
is
mean,
overrated. Changed my mind.
I will say this though: finding out, not finding out till the moment you need it, is okay. If you find out after you needed it, that's when I would have issues.
That's when I'll be like, why didn't you just tell me? Well, I thought you'd
Yeah.
understand. Obviously not. Just tell me next
You
time.
just like
Well,
be
bro, I
specific, my
said
guy.
look to the west. That first light. It's like, what?
Oh my god. But what do you call it? There's something else. Cole's abilities.
What is his ability?
I don't know
He got
because they have,
vibranium armor. He got the
Word.
Black Panther suit, bro.
but he's got the vibranium suit. But then he's also it can make tonfas.
It's part of the suit.
But can it only make tonfas? Because he made one tonfa and one like I guess bladed tonfa, and I
Yeah,
don't
it was like
understand.
one blunt tonfa and one with a blade, like a spike to stab into people.
I mean, like if he can make any weapon he can imagine, I'd be like that's pretty broad. Like, and he can basically like absorb impacts and rebound them. I'll be like that's pretty neat. But if he can only just do those two weapons, then just like they don't even fit his fighting
Yeah,
style.
word. Question: why Tonfas?
Exactly.
Like he's an
Like
MMA fighter.
I expected him to like,
Exactly.
if anything, maybe like get gauntlets so he can punch
Yeah,
harder. You know?
brass
Yeah.
knuckles.
Exact. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but then they're like, "We'll give you Tonfa, even though you've shown no martial prowess beyond MMA."
He
So
didn't even use them properly. I mean, he held them properly,
he did, but he didn't
but he
actually.
didn't use them properly.
Shit was whack.
And then my man needs to get good with that blade though, Hanzo's blade though. He gotta get good with that. Like
I
he has it
thought
now,
he was going to be. I thought that Spirit of Scorpion would inhabit him, and he would like do that. And then he got his own Arcana, and I was like, maybe that's the start of his new Scorpion armor. And then
bro.
like his blood touched the blade, and then like new challenger has approached, and I was like, oh, okay, so he is entirely useless.
Bro, like I was expecting, like once I saw that armor, just like you said, I was expecting him to like later get like pushed to the limit, and because it was, absorbing impacts and turning red, it would eventually
Right.
absorb so much against Sub Zero. He burst into flames,
Thank you.
and now he's in a full like scorpion outfit.
That
You
is
know?
exactly what I was thinking, and I
That
was
would have
like,
been cool.
that it would have been his little redemption, considering he
He's kind of
like
trash.
Sonya didn't even have the mark, and she was more useful.
That's because she stole it. Yeah.
Well, no. Even before she got her mark, she felt more prevalent than he did.
Oh yeah.
True.
That's
She's
'cause she did
she's
mad
the one
work.
that like she did more work against Reptile. She's the one
Yeah.
that bodied Kano.
Let's
She's
talk about Reptile. Hold up, hold up. Let's talk about Reptile,
Got the kill steal from.
Mr. Alligator Man.
I'm really upset that we didn't get to see the slow moving acid ball. That's all I wanted. That's all. Like literally, I was just like, bro, like just shoot it once and they'll like confuse them, and then it moves slowly across the room. They're like, what? Why? And then they're busy fighting, and then he throws them into it, bro.
Exactly.
The slow moving acid ball is one of the most underrated. I've seen 50% combos in Mortal Kombat with that. All right, it is so good.
And like IRL, bro, just like shoot like a couple hazards. They have to avoid it now. You don't. It's your fucking acid. You're probably
Word
immune to your own fucking
Exactly.
acid. Just
came from your mouth. They're
I
probably
I
fine.
wanted him to also look like a unique character. He didn't look like when I first saw him. I felt like I was gonna see a horde of lizard men, and I was just like, cause like his design looked like he was part of a mass and not
man looks like
like
he's an
an
iguana.
individual.
He's a giant iguana.
Komodo dragon looking motherfucker.
I mean, what is he supposed to be?
What?
Fair, fair,
Fair.
fair.
But I mean, like,
He's a
But
reptile.
like there was nothing about him that made me think like, oh, here's a unique and an important character.
it
I mean,
also
he
bothered
wasn't
me that
important technically.
True. Yeah. He
it
caught
also
that
bothered
ill
me
word.
that like we didn't see much of him. Yes, we got a whole fight with him, but we didn't see him. He was invisible like
He was invisible.
80% of the fight.
But Herbert, that's how you save money.
Word.
Oh, listen, man.
It's like, bro, movies are expensive. an enemy that can be invisible, why would you not have them be invisible?
Exactly.
Because honestly, you would have been tight if he wasn't invisible for like if he just never used it. You'd have been like, bro, he can turn in. Like, why was he not using that?
I was gonna say, what would you rather do? Pay like maybe like 4K just to have it animated,
Way
then like a
more,
couple,
way more,
like even to
like 100, like 100K.
like 100K to animate him, even to animate like his shimmer, like you would see like if he was invisible, or pay Brian the sound guy $12 to throw a cup from off screen. Like it's big buck thinking, man.
And that's how you make it in Hollywood.
It's how rich people stay rich, man. It's like
Budgeting.
they,
exactly.
they don't they don't spend their own money. What do you think this is?
Fucking charity.
Oh man.
But like I understand what you mean. Like you would have liked to see him more. But technically they made the right choice.
I was like, the thing is, Reptile has always been done dirty in the movies, and it upsets me. In the live action movies, like he was in this movie, and he was in the first Mortal Kombat movie. In the first one, they made oh god, here we go. It was this weird like lizard thing, okay, and it attacked Liu Kang. Liu Kang shakes it off, throws it into like what looks to be like a dead corpse or whatever, but then it like the dead corpse attack like uses like weird tendrils to like grab the fucking lizard and like absorb it into itself, and then it becomes the Green Ninja reptile, and I'm like,
What?
what?
That is very weird. That
and
is
I'm just
extremely
like,
weird.
and I was just like, I don't why. And don't get me wrong, in the past, like when Reptile first started in the games, he was just a color swap Sub Zero and Scorpion. Like he was just the same model, just green,
True.
so he looked like a human. But over
I
time, he actually just became an actual lizard person, but very humanoid. Like he doesn't have a huge snoot. Like he doesn't have the huge snout for a lizard. It's very small. Like it fits in a human mask. He wears human clothes, but he is a lizard man.
Yeah.
He's covered in skin. So I'm like, to make him just a random wild animal, I'm like, but he's not a wild animal, bro. Like he's not. He doesn't operate on instinct.
True. I will say he was more of a ninja than Sub Zero and Scorpion in this movie.
yeah,
I mean, when you can turn invisible, I hope so.
exactly. And with Sub Zero and Scorpion, I would say my least favorite part of both of their outfits was how chunky the mask was.
Yeah.
The mask was incredibly chunky for me. I didn't like how like because to me, I want to see like your head should be the largest part and it should taper as it goes towards your jaw. But like they had it so that they had an under thing on and then they have like basically like the traditional Japanese oni mask over it instead of like something sleeker. And I would have been so much happier with that other than this chunky fucking mouth guard.
Mm.
Nah, I feel you with that. I feel you with that. I will say a small detail that I enjoyed
Mhm.
was the fact, which it was a detail I enjoyed, but then it also added confusion later, which was the detail I enjoyed was the fact that Sub Zero spoke um Chinese
Yeah.
and Hanzo spoke Japanese because they're rival clans from different regions. I enjoyed that. But then it made no sense when like Sub Zero starts talking to fucking Scorpion in the beginning and the prelude to the whole movie. Starts speaking to him in Japanese and then switches to Chinese later. I'm like, bro, you know he doesn't speak no Chinese. Like,
Yeah. I would understand speaking to him in Japanese and then like only speaking to him in Japanese because like know thy enemy. Like I'm if I'm gonna talk shit, I'm gonna make sure they know they can understand what I'm saying.
Word. Oh yeah, and at the end of the movie, all of a sudden Cole understood Japanese.
That
yeah, I was like,
I would only let that slide if he, like I said, was the host for subs for Scorpion.
Yeah.
oh, you mean like if he? So if at the end you see
He
Scorpion
becomes
literally come out of
Scorpion.
his body and they
Yeah,
face
Yeah.
like
each other.
because
Oh
then
no,
it's
like
like you
that
now
makes kind of
know.
sense. You know.
Like I would be okay if it's fighting up better, if his he could speak that language, because it's like, oh, you were the host, you have all his powers and knowledge and hatred.
But what if
And hatred.
and here we could have had Scorpion as Cole's stand.
Word. Dude.
Stun this car.
I also want to say, like, the costume department outdid themselves not only with Scorpion's outfit, like mask aside, so much mask aside, but his outfit, like the vest was amazing. His outfit before he was actually like in the Sub Zero suit was pretty dope. Like when
Oh,
he was
like in the
just
very beginning of the
behind.
movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Yeah, bro, they were both like swagged out.
yeah. Because like they had muted versions of their like team colors, but they still like had like the yellow and the blue, and I think that's really cool that they were able to do that and maintain like traditional Japanese garb and then traditional like Chinese garb.
Yeah, which I feel I like. That's why like the costumes being like so much black. I feel like
Hmm.
that's why it bothered me even more because, like you said in the beginning, they it wasn't loud, but there were hints of the respective
Yeah, it was
colors.
still
Yeah.
apparent.
Yeah,
And then
so I
later
would
it was just pretty
Yeah,
much almost gone.
yeah,
exactly. So I would have preferred if even like not that bright yellow or bright blue. No, no, no. Like just the hints, the subtle hints of there. You know, hell, it could have been mostly black and just have like, some highlights of like dark.
exactly.
But
And
I don't know.
honestly, start with the masks for me. Like that was my biggest drawback. I'll leave it at that. Because I mentioned it a few
The get
times.
over here is if I were to nitpick, that would be like, why?
I mean, it's not
Mm,
like it's not
it's
his
fan
fault.
service. It's fan
You're
service.
you're used to literally only
No,
one
no, no, no,
person
no,
saying
no.
it.
Why? Why is he saying it in English as a character?
That
Man only knows
Fair,
Japanese.
fair. This is true.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think the actor who did it, like, because he did it, he said it himself. I think he did as good a job as he could, and it was a great job with the line. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
It sounded like Scorpion, and I appreciated that.
As far as I knew, was it him that said it? It sounded like they clipped the sound.
No, it was
Nah,
him.
it was him.
Okay.
It was not Ed Boon. This was like to date the only Mortal Kombat thing, movie, game, whatever that they didn't just use Ed Boon's clip for the get over here.
Okay.
As
Then
far as
yeah, he
I know.
sounded pretty good considering I just thought that it was someone entirely different.
Yeah, no, like he did pretty good. It was just like I don't know. It threw me off to hear it in a different voice. Again, not bad, but it just threw me off from what I'm
I wouldn't
accustomed
have
to.
mind hearing it in Japanese,
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
especially if it was him and if it still had the same like attitude, you know.
Hmm. Very true, very true. Um, it's funny how like the movie's called Mortal Kombat, but there's not actually any Mortal Kombat, like the tournament.
Yeah,
There's actually no
it
tournament.
just
No
never
actual Mortal
happened.
Kombat. Yeah, like no actual Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it didn't feel
Uh,
like a tournament. It just felt like everybody's fighting at once.
they
Everyone's gonna
tried to
die.
make it that way at the end when they were just like, "Oh yeah, we'll fight them one on one, tournament style. They want a tournament, we'll give them a tournament." I'm like, That's
Yeah,
not
that's
how
not
this
how a
works.
tournament works.
Not how this works."
Who's the champion? Nobody.
Mhm.
Got it.
Scorpion.
There.
Uh, okay. Sure.
Yeah, I would have liked it if like Raiden was like, I'm gonna keep them out until X amount of time because this is when the tournament starts, hence the name. And then like they have a tournament style like the Dark Tournament. And then it would have been nice. But then it was just like kill them all. True.
I was like, all right. I like the fan service of the location where Jax fought a dude with hammer. I
The
like
fucking
the fan
Apparently
pit.
fans are upset at how badly he was like portrayed.
dude
Jax.
with the hammer or Jax.
Yeah, dude with the hammer.
Uh,
I
Who
forget his
who was he
name.
supposed to be? I thought he was just a
Ryza?
random
Ryza?
person.
No, he was an actual character.
Uh,
Oh, I
I don't
cannot
remember.
recall.
I don't
I
remember
saw it
his
on
name.
Tumblr, which is why I already forgot.
People on
I
Tumblr are always gonna complain.
Fair.
I mean, nothing
Ever
wrong with
listen, ever since they lost their porn, they can't be satisfied. They're just angry all the time.
Honestly, just
You
frustrated,
know, yeah, no,
frustrated millennials.
not.
You're a millennial.
Yeah, I'm tight. Mad as hell, man. How do you
Reiko.
think I know?
Reiko was a dude's name.
Reiko, yes. That I know it started with an R, but yeah,
I,
he
you
was
know what's
pretty badly
funny?
done.
I don't really remember him, but was he? How many
I didn't even
games?
remember his face till I saw the post.
Like seeing it now, like, oh yeah, this dude. But I don't remember him past.
I
Like,
just remember the CGI was pretty bad on his fatality.
I don't remember him in too many games. Is he only in Armageddon and 4? Is that it?
I know he's not at the end of the movie.
Ah,
Apparently he was in 4, Mortal Kombat Gold, Deception. It was a cameo.
as a cameo in Deception.
Yeah.
No,
Unchained, Armageddon, cameo in 2011, cameo in 10, and cameo in 11.
so okay, he's not important. Got it.
No, he's not.
Like I can see, like looking at his old costumes, I can see why people were fans of him. Like they probably liked him as a character. So in that case, if you're a fan of him, you know, then yes, I could understand being upset that
Tough
they didn't
shit.
do that well. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I didn't really, I didn't care.
I didn't either.
I barely remembered him. I honestly was just like for a while I was like,
He was probably some low tier scrub, and the people that got angry were like Reiko mains. That's why you never won a fucking tournament.
I also didn't like how people would just be like saying the catchphrases like "fatality for Kung Lao."
Yeah, uh, yeah, it was weird.
Boo.
I
But
mean,
that's the campy stuff. But
that is
then
That
again,
was so
that's the stuff that
Oh
Herbert
my
likes.
that's what we're here for, bro. Like Mortal Kombat as a series has always been campy, fam. Always.
true, but I mean, like, if you're gonna be campy, go in, do it, and like own it. But don't like wish wash between I'm a serious movie and now I'm like Camp Lazlo.
But no,
No,
but
I
that's the
feel you.
thing.
Like
Like Mortal
don't have
Kombat
that.
always had that magic where it can be campy and still be serious. Like it somehow found the balance, and it's hard to portray that balance. It is.
Do
I'm
you
actually
think
kind of
that the success of this movie, not only will it spawn sequels, but do you think other fighting games will be like, yeah, we have a chance now?
No, no,
Are
no,
you
thank you.
Street Fighter?
Mm,
I wouldn't
mm,
mind seeing a live action Chun Li, and nobody can tell me that.
mm.
we already have that.
That's
I
true.
wouldn't mind seeing a live action Chun Li from this decade.
There we go.
Jesus.
What? You don't like Jean Claude Van Damme as Colonel Guile?
I just well, here's the thing. Like I'm not too savvy on the story of like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, so which is why I'm like I don't necessarily have a need for it. Like I enjoy the games,
Well,
I will
Tekken
say,
has a pretty coherent story.
true, but same, you know.
Tekken.
Like this is why I'm not like the story I'm most savvy with is probably like Soul Calibur's, and even then I'm like I don't need a movie.
Nah, because he just got a rebooted story with the last game.
It's true.
What about fighters?
We already have the
I know.
anime. Like
We have an anime and several movies. We're fine.
I'm good. I don't need a live
Like,
action. We've
just
seen
think
what
out-
happens when we tried that, Asante.
We
The
did.
same crowd of people who say, "Oh, this is based off of that fighters game." They're the same people who say, "I wish there was an anime about Boruto's dad."
Same type of human being. Fucking
Do your research.
Exactly.
garbage.
Do your homework. Oh my god. But I honestly, I would say if you want like, if you want to just take a dip, not even like a full like swim, a dip into the story of Street Fighter, there's actually a very solid short series, live action as well.
Mhm.
It's what do you call it? It's by Machinima actually.
Oh yeah, it was that YouTube series, right?
Yeah, it actually was really good. Assassin's Fist. It actually, bro, I saw all of it. I thought it was super dope. Like the main story of quote unquote present time is just during Ryu and Ken's, I think it's like last year or so of training with Goken. But then you
Right.
get a ton of flashbacks about Goken with his training and and the origin of Akuma too.
Nice.
So it's just basically origin, and the series ends with basically right when Ryu and Ken leave the school to go do their own thing and pursue their own training.
I
So
believe they also worked on a Mortal Kombat one, Machinima.
they did, if I remember correctly. Uh man, I haven't thought about Machinima in a long ass
Oh
time.
yeah, low budget but a lot of heart, a
A
lot
lot
of
of,
heart from those guys.
and
Legacy,
they're serious about it. They're not just a bunch of folks just trying to make like clickbaity, like
Mortal Kombat
funny
Legacy,
films. It's like they're
right?
legitimately fans trying to honor the medium.
Yeah,
So yeah, Santi, you're right. It's called Mortal Kombat Legacy, but
Yeah,
unlike Assassin's Fist or Street Fighter, it's an anthology. So every episode is a different character's backstory.
it seems interesting.
also cool.
Yeah, and actually, I remember like seeing it like visually, like the cover. Now I'm like, I remember this, and I actually enjoyed it. Machinima, like you said, it's just they honor the source material and they just make something dope out of
True.
it.
I mean, certain fan films are really the way to go. Like the fans have like the most freedom to basically make it how they see fit or as faithful as they can see fit. But the only downside is like
Money,
not as many people may see it, and definitely money.
money.
Well, like I wouldn't say money because like there are people without money who like have the when they have the available technology because a lot of open source stuff gets the job done, and they just have to. It just comes down to time, if anything.
I mean, time is money.
Wow,
am,
a little worse, ladies and gentlemen.
Boo, boo.
am I wrong?
um, what I'm wondering for the movie is like, so clearly they're planning a sequel, and then in the sequel we're gonna see the Cage Man, Johnny Cage. I wonder who would they would get to be Johnny Cage. Which I also want to point out, I'm glad that for the ending shot, which is supposed to be of his poster, they don't show his face purposely, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
So they could actually get like anybody to fill that role for the next movie.
I've heard right they want Ryan Reynolds to do it.
no thanks.
I feel like he has the most personality to do it. I'm very particular when it comes to like finding a character for like an actor for a character. Like not only do they have to be able to play the part, but they have to physically look the part to me.
I think Ryan Reynolds is too much. Like he's been too many people.
Hmm.
You know, like I like it where I can kind of associate a person with a character. But
See,
like
I
if a person's played like five different like uh comic book or video game or like, nerd culture characters, all of a sudden it's kind of like you're
Rub off together.
overusing your star power here, you know?
see, I like and don't like that because it's like you look at Iron Man and how after a while they started like, oh, we're gonna draw the comic book character to look like Robert Downey Jr. and then we make Robert Downey Jr. more like the comics, and it's like it eventually becomes a fusion of the same person.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's like now every time I see him in anything else, it's like, oh, you're just Iron Man. It's like I believe that that kind of limits stars in it to a degree where it's like they're not being taken as seriously in other roles because it's like, oh, we only see you as the like
They
with
get
Knives
pigeonholed.
Out, and you had Chris, one of the Chris's who plays
Evans.
Captain America, Chris Evans, playing the character in that, and I was like, all I could see was like, it's just Cap. And sometimes it distracts from the movie. So I think Ryan Reynolds has that freedom to be like, okay, I'm gonna be. He has a caricature of himself that he
Mm.
plays that is recognizable from movie to movie, like Just Friends and Van Wilder. That's like that. That like I remember seeing Just Friends, and I was like, and I had just finished watching Hulk versus Wolverine, where you and Deadpool shows up in that, and I was like, Ryan Reynolds needs to play this part.
Mm.
But I feel like he could bring Johnny Cage's asshole likeness to the role, but I just
but
like
like
physically I don't see it.
that's what I'm saying, right? When a character is associated with so many uh characters from well, sorry, when an actor is associated with so many characters from like popular culture, like comics, video games, all that stuff, it
Yeah.
it kind of dilutes that person. That's what I'm saying. Like if you add what you call it, Johnny Cage to Ryan Reynolds' repertoire, then when he does his next action movie, are you really gonna like take him as seriously?
Nah, I'm gonna see him as Ninja Mime at that point.
Depends.
But like also, I would say that people associating actors with their comic book version of themselves all the time is really on those people. You know, like if I watch Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder, I'm not gonna. I don't see Iron Man. Well, to be fair, he's dark, but so it's a little easier. But like if I see him in Due Date, I don't see Iron Man. If I see him in Sherlock Holmes, I don't see Iron Man.
There are definitely some rules that stick out predominantly more than others, I will say.
Fair, very, very fair. I
That's my
mean,
opinion. I don't know who I'd want as Johnny Cage. That's not. I'm glad it's not my job because I wouldn't be able to pick.
I don't know. I really, really don't know who I'd want as Johnny Cage. Like, full honesty.
You can give me somebody new, some unknown person, or
Yeah,
just somebody who's just I don't want to say unknown, but like not as much star power.
yeah, no, that's fair. Like, give me a whole new actor for shits and giggles.
Word.
I'd
Or
probably enjoy it in the long run.
All right, but that's all I have to say about the movie. Uh, I know that Herbert, you complained a lot more about it than I did.
Like I said, again at the end of the day, I want to emphasize I did not hate it. I actually enjoyed the movie. It's just if I had to rank Mortal Kombat live action movies, then like it would be at least for me, right? It'd be OG, then this movie, and then way at the bottom in the Nether Realm is Annihilation, the second one, way down there. Like it's chilling with Scorpion. That's how down there it is.
Damn. Fair enough. Um, I don't have a rating system for Mortal Kombat movies.
because I mean, like we haven't had a lot.
Word.
Yeah, so we've only had counting this one three. So
True. Ooh,
we'll see how that works out. But
exactly.
yeah, I think we'll end the episode here. Good.
All right.
Unless you guys got something else to say about it.
Nah, bro.
Um, the main character was useless, so much so that I couldn't remember his name just now. Is it Chad? Kevin? Keith? Is it Keith?
This is
Ah,
a Keith.
either way, I feel like they sh- they just should have handled it better. Like they should have handled him like a main character and not just a body to fight.
That's
True.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I really would have liked to see. So I don't know. I really would have liked to see from him, right? Just
Right.
more MMA inspired moves, maybe.
I guess. Excuse me. I guess, but it just felt even if even if he was to do mostly MMA, I would like his power to at least have something to do with that.
Yeah. His combat wasn't really the problem.
No, it definitely wasn't.
No, I'm saying like I'm saying that with his power too. Like we said before, if he had something that resembled like gauntlets or gloves, that would help. That would lean more into his MMA style. So you see him adapting to different things, like not just trying to strike, but you see him like doing grapples and stuff like that, groundwork. on top of everything, then I think it would have been really cool just to see it all combined together, you know. But
Yeah,
I'm nitpicking.
you're
I'm
Yeah.
nitpicking.
picky.
Yeah,
So, all right. So yeah. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. Like we
Yeah.
said, go watch the movie. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, the underscore content corner, for updates whenever new episodes go live. Follow us on YouTube and catch our streams on twitch.tv/content corner. And you can catch our weekly stream at at 9 p.m. on Fridays right now. It's a little late, I know, but it is what it is. Wednesdays you can catch Lens at 7 p.m. trying to become a Jedi Knight.
master.
You're not there yet. Still a
Not
Padawan.
He's not.
recognize we do not grant you the rank master.
That's fine. He's not a master yet.
So you'll see that. Um, yeah. Look forward to some more stuff coming soon. And as you know, as always, if you have something that you want us to review, or if you want to hear our opinions about, or something you want to recommend to us that you think is solid that we'll enjoy, just comment on one of the videos or posts, and we'll we'll get to it. No doubt about it. And if we hate it, we'll let you know. 100%. 100%. So
Or Phil should know it.
yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, and catch you later, guys.